you guys, welcome to a brand new episode of the Fit Women's Weekly podcast. What's happening? What's going on? This is vacation week for so many people. Not me. I am still here hanging out with you guys, but if you are on vacation or just living your best life, congratulations, and I hope that you're having a fantastic freaking time. I am actually recording, this is how much of a workaholic I am. It is actually 4th of July while I am sitting down in front of you guys because I enjoy doing my podcast the week of. I don't like batching it because I want to tell you guys like what's happening, what's in real life, kind of share a little bit more about my life in real time. And it just doesn't make sense to do that if I hop on and then tell you guys something that happened a month ago. So yeah, for each week, my podcasts are actually filmed in like real time. So you're getting what's going on right now when it is that you are listening to this. So yeah, today's 4th of July. I just finished recording my normal 4th of July 1776 workout. This is a tradition here in our studio. I'm actually going to share that as your workout of the week with you guys too, in case you want something that's challenging, because holy mackerel, it is challenging. I am still sweaty. My hair is a hot mess, and I would not have it any other way. And then after I finish hanging out with you guys to do this podcast, I'm gonna go home, do a little bit of editing, shower up, eat a little bit of food, and then I'm gonna go hang out with my family for the rest of the day. So I am gonna close my computer and step away from Fit Women's Weekly Live, step away from Fit Women's Weekly, the podcast, and just be with my family, be with my sister-in-law, my nieces, my brother, my parents. So yeah. And I'm gonna eat, I don't know, hot dog, hamburger. I don't know what we're gonna have. I also have to go finish making my summer salad, my cucumber mango salad. It is my favorite thing. It just takes a lot of time because it's a lot of chopping. So I did half of it yesterday and half of it today. If you guys have not gotten a chance to see that recipe or to try it out, I have it posted up on my Instagram, which is Kendall Boyle Fitness. But in a nutshell, it is a mango diced up, it is a cucumber, it is cherry tomatoes, onion, bell pepper, and I think that is an avocado. Can't leave that out because that helps make it creamy. And then a little bit of honey, a little bit of cumin, a little bit of chili, olive oil, lemon, and apple cider vinegar. Sounds like a lot, but those are most like staples in most people's households, I feel like. You mix it together, it is delicious right away, but it's even better the day or two later. So I made a lot of the stuff yesterday, but I'm making most of it today. Also, I didn't want the avocado to go brown. So if you're looking for a good summer salad, please make that. I make it at least once a week for Dan and I. At one point, I think we had it 3 out of the 7 days for every night for dinner until Dan was like, I know you really like the salad, but can we change things up a little bit? But it is amazing, and that's what I'm going to be taking with us to 4th of July. Now, you're probably like, okay, cool, Kendall, but what are we going to talk about today on the podcast? Fabulous question. So we are going to chit chat today about, can you make a good workout without equipment? And the reason that I want to talk about this is because so many of us, sorry about the air condition, it is turning on, and no amazing mic can get rid of that. I am in my studio when I record these podcasts. But anyways, a lot of us are traveling. A lot of us might not be able to get into a normal gym or have access to what we're used to. So the question becomes, when you're outside of your routine, but you still want to get some movement in, can you make a good workout without equipment? And the answer is yes, and we're going to cover all about it. But before we jump into that, I have a couple of updates. Number one, this is your last chance to sign up for my Summer Shred Challenge, guys. This is an 8-week strength transformation program, workouts, nutrition, mindset, accountability, all the tools that you need to take your fitness to the next level. If you want to see results with your body, you're going to be able to do that because you're going to have me with you every step of the way. Not only am I your coach through the Summer Shred, but I do it too. I look forward to this because I also like a reset. I like to challenge myself in different ways. And no matter how healthy you are or how consistent you are, if you're not changing things up or progressively making things harder, you're not going to see results. So for me, the Summer Shred is just that little bit of an extra kicker to get outside of my comfort zone. And we all know I'm trying to lean out a little bit. I'm trying to get a little bit stronger. I'm working on some new skill sets for myself. And this helps motivate me just as much as it helps to motivate you guys. So you get me as a coach, you get me as a trainer, and you get me as your workout wifey. So don't put it off. In fact, pause the podcast right now, go to the description, click on the link and sign up for the Summer Shred so that you don't miss out. You have to register by Saturday because registration will close Saturday night, so that on Sunday I can work on getting everybody into the group, making sure that I've contacted you, making sure that you have all the tools that you need so that come Monday, you can hit the ground running. Easy peasy stuff, right? So stop, go sign up now, and then come back. I'll wait. Okay. And then the other thing that I wanted to share is make sure you subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. Leave a review if that is an option. If you watch this on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button there as well. But the big news, so I know, a lot of news coming your way. The other piece of big news is this morning I did something amazing. I ran 3 miles straight. In fact, a little over 3 miles. And for coming off of having a meniscus tear, that feels so good. Now, was it 100% comfortable? Did I feel 100% back to my running self? No, I felt winded. I felt a little bit out of shape when it comes to my running, but my knee itself felt fine. There's a little bit of just like heaviness to it from time to time, but overall I did really well. And I'm sharing this with you guys because when we injure ourselves, part of what makes it so hard to get back into our routine isn't that we're not recovered, it's our mental side of things going, am I okay to do this? It's the self-confidence that we have to gain back. So if you've gotten the clear from your doctor, start just playing around and saying like, does this feel okay? And if it does, you're gonna start continuously to build confidence. Running means that I can start getting back into like trying to work on my speed a little bit. It gives me the confidence to start working a little bit more on plyometrics or jumping exercises. It gives me a little bit more confidence and peace of mind when it comes to lifting heavy weights, because if I can handle that pounding and it feels okay, then I'm more likely to try other things. So that's step one. And then there's the second part of getting back to running or getting back to any kind of fitness after an injury, and that's leaving more into your tank. Younger Kendall would have been like, that felt great. I'm just gonna keep running and knock out 9 miles, right? Because that's what I was doing and over that before I hurt myself. But you have to treat this as if you're coming back into being off of the grid for a while. Treat yourself kind of like a beginner. You're gonna progress obviously faster than a beginner would, but you again are trying to build up that confidence. And my knee and my legs haven't worked like that now in 8 weeks. So I'm gonna slowly build my mileage back up so that I can make sure to avoid any potential injuries coming up from trying to progress too fast. So I'm doing these smaller runs so that when I finish it, I can look at that and go, it felt great. I had more in the tank. I probably could have gone farther, but I'm not, because that's gonna have me wanting to come back and do more, and it's healthier on your body and on your mindset. So if you're coming back from an injury, or maybe in the future, this might be like a podcast that you come back to, that is something to keep in mind. Cool? All right, so we've talked about the Summer Shred. Did you pause and go sign up yet? We talked about my running. Now, let's talk about the workout of the day, because I promised that at the beginning. And I've had so many people reach out and say, I decided to try Fit Women's Weekly Live because you used to share workouts on your podcast. And then I just kind of got out of it. So I'm trying, you guys. I know I'm not consistent with that, but I am trying to add on these workouts. So your workout for today is my annual 1776 4th of July workout. If you add up all the reps together, guess what it comes out to? 1776. And I made sure to do a video on this as well, so you can go check it out if you hear these exercises and you're not sure about them. Go check it out either on my YouTube Shorts or on Instagram, Kendall Boyle Fitness. So it is 300 flutter kicks, 300 lunge jumps, 100 dead man burpees, which just means instead of doing a push-up, you're gonna lay flat onto the ground and then come up out of each one, 233 squats, 400 jump ropes, 100 push-ups, followed by 343 alternating leg raises. Those leg raises are so hard. Now, are you gonna get through all of this in a 30-minute period? No, this is absolutely a workout challenge. So what I would suggest is take whatever time that you do have, set a timer, and just try to knock out as much as you can. If you have time, about an hour, then absolutely go for the full thing. If you don't, it's absolutely fine. Set a timer, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, even 20 minutes, and just knock out as much as you can. You can break up the exercises however you want, and you can even do them in whatever order you want to do them in. So if you want to do that, rewind, write it all down, go knock it out. I had 40 minutes to treat my class because we do a 10-minute warm-up, 40 minutes of workout, and 5 to 10 minutes of a cool down, especially on the holidays. So we got through quite a lot of reps. And because I do this every year, it's kind of fun. I know I got through more this year than I did last year. So that's progress, right? So that's your workout. Do it. Now, let's talk about how to make a good workout that doesn't need equipment. So whether you are on vacation or you just don't have access to your gym, how can you make sure that your sweat session is a really good one? Well, the first thing that you need to focus on are, what are your goals? When you are working out, are you aiming for exercise? Are you just trying to aim to move your body, to sweat, or are you aiming for progress? Those are two completely different things. The workout like we did today, the 1776 workout, for example, doesn't really have a set goal in mind. Like, I'm not trying to get better with my push-ups at this. I'm not trying to get better with my squats. This is just a really great cardio-focused movement where I know I'm going to be sitting at the pool all day, and now I can say, wow, I did a great sweat session before. It's a sweat session. Wow, that's a really hard one. But if you're aiming for progress, you have to be a little bit more intentional with how you put your workouts together and the exercises that you choose. So for a good workout, if that's what your goal is, exercise, any movement is good movement. Go for a run, knock out a circuit, do some burpees, whatever the case may be. Make sure that you're increasing your heart rate. Try not to rest too long, especially if you're just trying to get in, get out. Make it tough, you're fine. If your goal is to get more fit, how so? Are you trying to get more fit with your cardio? Are you trying to get more fit with your strength? If you're trying to get more fit with your cardio and you're stuck like short on time, maybe go out to wherever you are and do some sprints. Sprints are an amazing way to increase your cardio, increase your cardiovascular strength, and your recovery time. So that's one great idea. But then you're gonna then look at your goals. I kind of got a little ahead of myself. You're gonna look at your goals, and then it's time to actually design your workouts. So what elements go into a good workout? And I'm not gonna talk about cardio. I'm not gonna talk about running here, except for if you're trying to increase your cardio stability or your cardio. Sprints are an awesome way to do that if you're short on time. Go out, do some farkles. But if you are trying to move your body in a way of doing not like body weight exercises, squats, lunges, push-ups, what are the elements that you need when you design your workout? All right, there's 5 of them. And you don't have to include them in every workout, but every week should include all 5 of these elements. They should be in your training at some point. Number 1, upper body pull and push workout. So pulling exercises are some sort of row. If you're doing this with body weight, then I don't know, I kind of consider band exercises a body weight exercise because you can pack them easily in your luggage. A lot of like hotel gyms will have them accessible to you. So doing like banded rows or banded pull downs are a great example, or even upright rows with a band. If you have nothing available to you, then doing Supermans on the ground or doing back extensions off of a bench or a box are some great ways to get that posterior side of your back. And then pushing exercises would include the most common push-ups, right? Push-ups, whether that is regular push-ups or pike push-ups, where you're doing a vertical press, which like if you need to work your shoulders, right? So you're going to be working your chest and your triceps by doing regular push-ups. But if you go into a pike position with your butt high, trying to tap the top, you're going to be mimicking an overhead press. So it's a great way to get your delts into a body weight workout. So number 1, upper body push and pull. Number 2, lower body knee flexion exercises and hip flexion exercises. So a knee flexion exercise would be where the exercise is initiated by bending your legs. Squats, lunges, great examples, right? And then you have a hip flexion exercise, which typically the most common is a deadlift or a kettlebell swing. But if you don't have those things, hip thrusters or bridges would be a great home workout variation to be able to get those moves in. Element number 3, balance. Balance exercises, unilateral movements, whether that is simply standing on one leg, maybe doing one-legged body weight deadlifts, which you guys, those can be very challenging. Also known, you can add a jump to it and create what's called wounded soldiers. You can do a stand plank. So many different ways to work on your balance. But balance is really important, especially as we get older. We want to work on those smaller stability muscles so that we move with ease and without fear of falling as we get older. So don't neglect your stabilizer muscles. Do your balance work. 4, core. Core is super important, especially if you're doing more body weight focused exercises. When you're doing heavy loaded exercises like weighted squats, for example, especially if you're doing rack squats or a front barbell squat, you're incorporating a lot of core exercises into your training without even knowing it. That is an awesome core exercise. If you're doing more body weight focused exercise, you're still using your core when you do certain movements. When you do push-ups, that is an awesome core exercise. When you're doing squats, if you focus on engaging your abs, then yes, that is a core exercise, but not quite as intentional as when you're doing a weighted movement where your center of gravity is changing, therefore firing off your core. So if you're doing a body weight workout, I would focus on putting just 1 to 3, depending on the time that you have available, focused core exercises at the end of your workout. Don't do them so much at the beginning. You want to add those smaller, more isolated movements at the end of your workout so that your muscles aren't tired and then you end up doing crappy form on your big movements. So core exercise. And then finally, this is not for everybody. It depends on where you are with your fitness, how your body feels, if you have any injuries that prevent you. But number 5 is possibly plyometrics. This is a great power move. So plyometrics is just a fancy word for jumping. So lunge jumps, squat jacks, plyometric push-ups, things that are very explosive. They are fantastic at teaching our brain how to talk to our muscles. So it leads us to build coordination. And then it's also a great power move to help us build strength. So those are the 5 elements that you should include in a good body weight focused workout. And really, it's just in a good workout in general. And so then, so if you're used to working out with weights and then you're trying to create a workout that is going to help get you stronger at home without access to those weights, what do you need to focus on? You want to make sure that you're progressively making things challenging, right? So if you're used to doing heavy loaded squats and now you're going to go do regular squats, you're going to have to do a lot of squats, right, to get the volume that you need to push yourself into that progressive overload state. So instead of always trying to add up to where you're doing like 300 squats, 400 squats, right? Because who has time for that? Instead, look at the exercises that you're doing and simply say, is there a different variation of this where I'm working the same muscles, but I am making it harder so that you're not having to always increase the reps? And so some examples would be, instead of doing regular squats, do split squats, do single leg squats like pistols. Instead of doing regular push-ups, do different variations. There's so many different variations of push-ups that you can do. There's lizard push-ups, there's diamond push-ups, there's shoulder tap push-ups, there's handstand push-ups. Where are you in your fitness that if you need to make things harder, make things harder? Other ways to help make things harder is to increase your time under tension. So slow your reps down, hold at the bottom of your exercise before you come back up. Or one of my favorite ways to do it is through negatives. I've talked about negatives on here before, but that's increasing the time that you're in the eccentric force portion of your lift. So you have 3 parts of a lift. You have your eccentric, which is your lengthening. You have your concentric phase, which is your shortening. So like, let's say for a bicep curl, the curling part where you're bringing your weight to your shoulder and your bicep gets bigger, that's your concentric phase. Then at the top where you're pausing is your isometric phase, where nothing's moving, you're under tension, but you're just holding it. And then as you start to lower down, that's your eccentric phase, where your muscle is lengthening back up. And science has shown that that eccentric phase, that time under tension, the longer it is, the more significant your ability is to gain strength and to build hypertrophy. Build muscle in a hypertrophy phase. So for bodyweight exercises, increase that eccentric portion. Go really slow down on your squats, hold it for a second before you come back out of it. Or pull-ups, do pull-ups, come down really, really slow things down. Same with push-ups. Eccentric push-ups are so hard. Go to the top of your push-up and try to take 5 to 10 seconds trying to get all the way down as one piece, keeping your form nice and solid all the way to the bottom, and then push up fast. You can even come to your knees to get back up to the top. That part is not as important as it is on that control down. So that's a couple of different ways. So yes, how can you make a good workout without any equipment? By following these rules. If you are looking for even a single piece of equipment that I still consider body weight, I would invest in $5 on Amazon and get yourself a good set of bands. But There you go. That is how to do it. And let me just go over my notes real quick, make sure I didn't finish or skip out on anything. Another great way to make your exercises harder for body weight, if you're able to, like I said, is plyometric. But I know I had also included that on what you should include for a good workout. But also when you're starting to sit down and like kind of design out your workout, you can say like, oh, I really don't want to do squats. So maybe do squat jumps that day to make it a little harder on yourself. As far as the actual layout of your workout and how it should be, obviously that's going to differ on what kind of training period you're at. Are you in a hypertrophy phase, or you want to keep the reps between like 8 to 10? Are you working more on your endurance base where they're going to be more than 10? That's going to also help decide on what kind of exercises that you do choose based on how many reps you're able to do. Just like when you're lifting, if you're supposed to do 8 to 10 reps of an exercise, you don't want to be able to do 20 reps, right? You're not going to be able to build that muscle like you want because you're not pushing yourself hard enough. So make sure if you're like, okay, I'm supposed to do 8 to 10 reps, well, obviously, for most of us, a body weight squat for 8 to 10 reps isn't going to put us in a state of hypertrophy. So instead for that, I'd be like, okay, for that, I'm going to do single leg squats instead, or I'm going to do shrimp squats. Now, I kind of had mentioned how I like to put the accessory and the isolated exercises at the end of a workout, and the same thing goes when I'm just sitting down to design it. I'm going to add my bigger moves, like my big squats, my big push-ups, things that work my most amount of muscles, the compound movements at the top of my workout. And then as I come down, the exercises are gonna get a little bit more isolated, a little bit more accessory style, and that's what I'm gonna finish on. So I'm gonna treat that the same, but also just have fun with it. One, if you're on vacation, incorporate these big movements, but don't put too much thought and emphasis, just have fun. You're moving your body. It takes a few weeks for your body to lose any muscle or strength. So if you're just moving yourself on vacation, enjoy it, right? You're doing more than most people do on vacation. Go for a run, do something different, try some sort of new studio that's maybe around you, but don't put like stress on yourself. Now, if you're moving and you're stuck in this position for a few weeks, then that's really where these elements are going to come and play a role into helping you set up so that you don't lose your fitness and you can even grow your fitness. So yeah, and my biggest example of this is look at people that do calisthenics, so like gymnastics, body weight movements. Yeah, you can build some serious strength from just your body. Your body weighs something. That is mass that you are moving. So don't discredit yourself. You can do amazing things with that body. That's why I'm doing handstands. I freaking love handstands, and they are hard. I am getting a shoulder pump. I am getting my abs, are burning every day. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen if I consistently do this every day for the next couple of months, because my goal is by the end of the year to be able to hold a 30-second or longer handstand, not like just as a, ooh, that was an accident. I want to be very intentional and be able to do that back to back. So hopefully that'll happen. All right, you guys, that's today's podcast. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and go sign up for the summer shred. And also, if you do that 1776 workout, let me know. I would love to hear about it. And then the last thing, if you loved this podcast and you want to support the channel, you can do a couple of things. One, share it. If you have people in your life that work out, maybe you have someone that works out at home and they could use a little bit of some help, then this would be the perfect episode for them. So send it to them. And then the other thing, if you're not able to join the summer shred or be a part of Fit Women's Weekly Live, but you still love the content that you're getting, help support us. There is a link for a Buy Me a Coffee down in the description, and every little bit helps. So you just never know. All right, thank you so much, you guys. Have yourself an amazing day. Hopefully, I will see you Monday for the summer shred.